So we decided to put that to the test. I'm gonna sit here at idle and text just quick, hey, what's up? And by the time I send it, look and see how far we've gone.
But now it's local farmers that are struggling with the wrath of the flames. The Lexington Bluegrass Stockyards is the only stockyard within 30 miles of the area. So now local farmers are complaining that they don't have the time and it's inconvenient for them to go somewhere else.
The doors in Whitehall only open outward, and once they're open, they can only be locked from the outside. It leaves a lot of students wondering, what if? You can see one edge of the sidewalk, it's about 3 to 4 inches higher than the other. Now for elderly people or little kids or anyone who's just not paying attention, that can be pretty dangerous. However, there is an ordinance.
And that's the struggle with the investigation. Police are telling us they're not exactly sure where to look because they don't know where McCarty fell off.
But when I talked with UKPD, they told me that campus is only the streets and buildings that UK owns. That's why when I take one step this way, they're not as concerned as to who lives here.
Hey, Pops. Hey, baby. No, I have no carrots.
From the road, Old Friends Farm might not look like much, but to these horses, it means everything.
This is total retirement. We don't retrain them. We don't adopt them out. Once they come here, that's it.
It's a new ending and a chance at a new life.
And they deserve to be displayed, and they deserve to be worshipped by their fans, and that's exactly what's happened.
Based solely on donations, this 136-acre farm cares for over 150 thoroughbreds, including 2 Derby winners and a movie star.
It's not every day you get to meet a celebrity, but here at Old Friends Farm, you're surrounded by them.
Totally starstruck around these horses. I mean, the idea that Silver Charm is in my yard totally freaks me out. The idea that Misty Oshita and all the people at Shaddai Stallion called me up and said, would you like to have war emblem at your farm? I'm going, this is unbelievable. Now I got 2 Derby winners.
Winners that a lot of people want to see.
When people come to Kentucky, especially people like me, when I first stepped foot in Kentucky, I just wanted to feed a horse a carrot or something, and you couldn't do it. There was not one place I could go and feed a horse a carrot.
Hard work and dedication helps Michael Blowen bring nearly 20,000 visitors to the farm each year.
It's taken a dozen years to do it, but it's been worth it and it's been a lot of fun.
He never lets me win.
If Brian had only been seriously injured and not killed, he would have gotten more time than he did for actually taking his life. The system is definitely set up for the benefit of the offender.
In this case, the offender is Glenn Donahue, who's up for parole a second time only 6 years after killing a Lexington police officer. Donahue killed Lexington officer Brian Dermott in a hit-and-run incident in 2010. A jury found him guilty of vehicular manslaughter in the second degree, leaving the scene and possession of a controlled substance, among other charges. You might be asking, how is it possible that he is already up for parole? You're not the only one.
Manslaughter, in which you kill somebody, is not perceived as a violent offense.
That means that someone convicted of manslaughter in the second degree only has to serve 20% of their sentence before going up for parole. If the parole is rejected, they can try again in 2 years.
Ridiculous part of this is the jury fixed this punishment. The judge reduced it. The judge fixed the punishment. Now the victim's family has to go over and beg this group of people called the parole board to do what the judge said.
Beg for a chance to be normal again.
It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. When do we get back to normal? When can we start over? When can we be normal again?
Officer Derman's widow, Brandy, is working to change this.
We petitioned for the Brian Derman Act, which makes manslaughter in the second degree against a clearly identifiable police officer or fireman an automatic violent offense.
The Brian Derman Act was voted into law just 4 years after the officer's death. For now, Brandy's taking a break in the courtroom and spends her free time volunteering to help other victims like her.
I hope that people in a situation like ours don't have to go back every 2 years, that 20 years really means 20 years.
In 1919, there were 26 distilleries here, small and large, and all of them went out of business or got bought.
And since 1919, bourbon from its mother county has disappeared, until now. Founder of Hartfield & Company, Andrew Buchanan, is bringing bourbon back.
You have a county that has been here for almost 100 years and not contributed at all to the alcohol world.
Hartfield and Company, formerly the Gentleman Distillery, has made history by making alcohol in Bourbon County for the first time in 94 years.
The idea of bourbon from Bourbon County, I knew it would resonate with people. I knew people would get it instantly, but it's been so much larger of an idea.
Bourbon from Bourbon County, a product catching the attention of people all over the world, including a large alcohol corporation that, due to legal issues, must remain unnamed.
Use of the word gentleman infringed upon their rights of a couple of their brands, their trademarks. So we have to change.
Buchanan isn't the only one excited about the launching of Hartfield and Company.
A part of our history, and financially, it'll help the whole county. If somebody bring the crops back here to us
And bring the people to the town.
Yeah.
As for the future of Hartfield and Company,
We already can't keep up. We already have bigger stills, bigger equipment, all that kind of stuff on order. I'd say we will continue to grow.
the distillery is putting out 3 to 3.5 gallons of bourbon per day.
Thanks, Casey. Between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, this week is always a huge week for shoppers. We witnessed record-breaking sales on both Friday and Monday, but some shoppers were looking for deals a little different this year. This year, Black Friday was a very big day for gun sales. The FBI said more Americans had background checks conducted for firearm purchases last Friday than any other day on record. There were over 185,000 requests processed by the National Instant Criminal Background Check System throughout the day. That's 5% more than previous Black Friday, and it broke the one-day record set on December 21st of 2012. A few days later, Cyber Monday shoppers smashed spending records set Black Friday with over $3 billion in online orders. IBM says the average customer spent $124 in their online shopping. Toys and electronics proved to be the biggest sellers. Among the most popular toys, the Barbie Dreamhouse and Star Wars Lego sets. Consumer sales weren't the only thing on the rise in November. An early peek at November job growth is looking good. Payroll processor ADP says the private sector added 217,000 jobs last month. Analysts say that's higher than expected and marks the second straight month of strong, steady growth. The Labor Department's federal jobs official report is due out Friday. For the German automaker Volkswagen, sales have had the opposite trend. Problems for the company continues as U.S. sales of Volkswagen vehicles continue to plunge. The company saw a 25% drop in November sales compared to the period last year. The drop comes as Volkswagen struggles to come to terms with a growing emission scandal. That's a look at your Consumer Corner. Casey, Rashad? A bill approved Tuesday will put a stop to terrorists setting foot on American soil. The bill, which bans the transfer of detainees from Guantanamo Bay, Cuba to the United States, was passed in the Senate with a 91-3 vote. However, blocking those transfers will make it difficult for President Obama to keep his promise of closing the prison for good. Despite the new struggle, Obama will continue to press his goal. Officer Derman's widow, Brandy, is not only fighting to keep her husband's killer behind bars, but now she's working to ensure no one else has to go through the same ordeal. Coming up now on UK Student News Network, live at 4.
We have lost our Daniel. Richmond Police Officer, badge number 457.
A fallen hero and the community saying goodbye and protecting our veterans, how to help them once they get home.